and apparently I have to apologize because the image in the screen is not to the preference of everybody participating in the consortium, but I promise that I will remedy that in my next presentation, and we'll try to keep a better balance between PVs and concentrated solar thermal systems. So as Derek and Vasiliki have already mentioned, we have created an acceleration program in this project, and I believe that although we do not offer any financial support to third parties, we do offer a portfolio of services that are much more interesting and much more beneficial for the participants of this acceleration program. Before I start delving into the particular services, we have realized, not only in this program, but in our work in International Development Ireland, through our years of experience in accelerators and in investing in startups, that the main problems that startups face today are mainly five. And this is the struggle for startups to identify genuine market demands. So we see that often there is a solution in the table, but there isn't any problem behind that. So there isn't a good fit between what the market needs and what the technology or the company has to provide. Access to finance is always difficult. The banks do not lend. It is very difficult to secure funds, even for financial investors, even from venture capitals, especially when we're talking about early stage startups when the risk is high. The innovation systems are fragmented, and this is also something that our project is trying to remedy. We do not have enough access to infrastructure and investments. And for the case of startups and companies operating in this space where you do need to test and validate your systems, access to infrastructure is crucial. This is also something that our acceleration program has taken into account. And of course, there is always a skills gap in certain domains, especially in the domains of commercialization, of investability, of sustainability, and I mainly refer to business sustainability. So what we are trying to remedy with all these acceleration programs is to create a bridge that will go over the valley of death. So we have some research behind that. You have a company, you come up with a prototype and some valid ideas, but it is too early for investors. It is too early for the industry. It's certainly too early for the banks. So through these services, we try to help you accelerate the process, the innovation process, and hopefully reach from the TRL 4 or 5, where you may be at the moment, to a TRL 6 or 7. And we do that through a number of tools. We do that because it is necessary to bridge this gap. And the tools that we're using are mainly coaching, training, access to investors. In our SolarHub project, we have created a 3-stage acceleration program targeting different stages of maturity in startups. So we have 3 years in front of us. Every year we will run an acceleration, the same acceleration program, but we will target different startups. I will focus today in SolarHub Ignition, which is the first installment of this project, of this acceleration program. And it will focus early stage startups, entrepreneurs, researchers, and research teams, of course, that are involved in solar energy, any kind of solar energy. And it will last 6 months. And let me explain how it will work. So what are we looking for? We are looking for entrepreneurs, research teams, or startups. There isn't any requirement from research teams or entrepreneurs to have established an entity. So you don't need to have a company behind that. You can, however, in the case of companies, we prefer these companies to be at an early stage, so younger than 5 years. So either no company at all or a new company. If you want to be considered a startup, you need to be a startup. In the case of research teams, we accept research teams from any widening country, and widening countries are defined by the Commission. Basically, all the countries of the Balkan, Turkey, Greece, Malta, even Portugal is a widening country in the countries of the Baltic. You can click at that link in the presentation and you will see which are the widening countries. However, we need to strengthen and create links with our ecosystem. So at least 30% of the team members need to be either from Greece or Turkey. In the case of startups, these startups can be from anywhere in Europe, any country that is eligible under Horizon Europe. However, they need to have some proven collaboration with a Greek or Turkish entity. So they need to show through a very simple memorandum of understanding, an MOU, that they already have or they're willing to have some kind of collaboration in our two countries where SolarHub is based. So early stage startups, research teams working in solar energy solutions, or entrepreneurs and researchers already working or ready to start working in that. What participants will get from the program? We have a very extensive education and training program, and I will give more details later. We have a number of workshops, physical workshops, that will help participants understand, hopefully, the real problems of the market, meet the end users, meet the policymakers, try to think out of the box and evolve their ideas towards a more commercial path. We offer some mentoring and coaching, business mentoring and technical coaching. So not only we have very successful businessmen that will mentor the selected companies or research teams, we also offer support to the technical teams in the technical aspects. And we do have a very strong technical consortium with excellent scientists and researchers in our consortium. Networking opportunities, of course, that goes without saying. We are already 21 partners in the consortium. And you can imagine the network that these partners can bring, and the network that you can access through these partners. And these partners are from all types of organizations. So we have academics, we have research, we have policymakers, we have government bodies, industry, SMEs. We have also organizations from the society, like energy communities. So the networking opportunities are vast. and we intend to help companies and the research teams that we will select exploit them. Finally, although we do not give any cascading funding, so the selected companies will not get any funding from the project, we do have on board some related venture capitals and investors who will monitor the process and will be present in the final presentations of the solutions. And if interested, and if the solutions that we will come out of this program are really mature and really interesting, then these investors will certainly help you or help the companies proceed, and they are ready to provide early stage finance or seed funding. So it is very relevant both to the level of maturity of the teams that we are selecting, and all the venture capitals that are on board are targeting in renewable energy solutions. So there is an alignment both at the domain and the maturity level. Probably the most important asset that we are offering to the companies are the pre-design. So the early access to the pre-designs that the research teams will have, and you have already seen briefly the pre-designs and more in more detail one of the pre-designs. So the research teams that will participate to the project will have direct access to these pre-designs and will be able to interact with them. How it will work? It will work through an open call. So we have already announced an open call. I will share the link later on. The call will end the end of the month. So end of April, we will collect all the applications. We already have a few. And we will evaluate them through a pool of independent experts. And within May, we will let the companies that have been selected know that they are ready to start. Now, between June and November, we will have the implementation of the acceleration project, the acceleration program, with all these services that I have described, and this will culminate with a networking and demonstration event at the end of this acceleration program, somewhere early December this year. How can you apply? The application is quite simple. So we want to know what we have done, what the team is. Describe briefly the technology that we have in mind. Give us some information on your development status and the next steps. And finally, tell us if you will have some involvement with the pre-designs. So if you're planning to design something that is missing, if you're planning to utilize some of the pre-design as a foundation for your own system, offer some ideas that may bring some improvements, or you can just be creative and tell us something completely new. So these are the evaluation criteria. We are going to evaluate the breadth of the technology, the depth. So what you are describing, is it viable? Is it interesting? Is it innovative? But also we will evaluate the team itself, its motivation, and the engagement with our pre-designs. As I already said, it is not mandatory to use the pre-designs that we have, but we strongly advise that it will provide an excellent opportunity for you to work with directly with our project and it will accelerate all the ideas that you may have. So in more detail, the education and training program will be quite intense. We have covered aspects from business, from market analysis, business model development, pitching, financial planning, ESG, but also more technical aspects or more societal aspects like energy communities, and dedicated technical trainings that will help you progress with your ideas. We have a mentorship and coaching component. So the mentorship component will be 12 hours. This will be offered by independent mentors that will be selected and assigned to the team. And these mentors will help the teams identify their next steps, their sustainability, or the sustainability of the business idea, and own their entrepreneurial skills. We also have a coaching of 6 hours, this time from relevant scientists and researchers in the field that you will be working on. And of course, the purpose of this is to have a final solution, prototype, business case that will be presented at the networking and demo day at the end. I already referred to the ideation and co-design workshops. So this will bring together the consortium with the ecosystems. This will be physical, will be organized in the 5 cities of our consortium, so Thessaloniki, Ankara, Istanbul, Izmir, and Athens. In case the teams are away from these cities and cannot travel, we will, of course, provide some hybrid function. We'll see how this will work, but we prefer for teams that are close to these cities and or at least for the members of the teams that are close to these cities to participate physically. And through these workshops, we will try to create a collaboration between all the participants of the project and between the teams, and explore the challenges and the problems and the potential solutions that you will be researching. Access to the pre-designs, we already talked about the 4 pre-designs that we are offering: the low-temp solar thermal, the hydrothermal, PV for power and microclimate, the crop production. So whichever one you will select, we will support you. But even if you don't select any of that and you come up with your own design, we'll see how we can accommodate and fit you into the project. And these are the 4 ways that you can interact with the pre-design. So design and develop some missing component, like can be a software, a controller, an IoT device. Utilize it as a foundation for your own system. Offer some suggestions, as I already said, and present some innovation, some innovative case, original case that we haven't thought of. And of course, if you don't want to use that, you have the freedom of exploration. You can generate your own original ideas and tell us how you can you see them being implemented. So I hope that most of you will interact with these pre-designs. And the reason that we are doing that is that we believe that they offer a lot of possibilities for creativity and innovation in the solar energy sector. And the more researchers and the more research teams and the more companies that will interact with them, we will achieve a better acceleration of the whole process. I already talked about networking and the demo day. In addition to all this, our consortium will organize some events. We will organize some matchmaking opportunities for the selected companies and the selected research teams to build collaborative consortia to join other teams and see if we can help them get extra funding from Horizon Europe or from other projects, from other programs. This is our timeline. We are here. We are somewhere here in April. At the end of April, we will have the deadline. May, we will do the evaluation, and then from June till the end of November, we have the acceleration program. So what are the next steps? We have a very extensive guide for applicants. We will share, of course, this presentation with, and I believe the other ones as well, with all the links. And you can go to this SolarHub Ignition Guide for applicants. It's a very detailed guide, but still, if you see that you cannot find something and you have some questions, you will feel free to ask us. And you can apply through the F6S platform. It's a very easy process. If you already have the idea, I promise you that it will not take you more than maybe 2-3 hours to put it in paper and create the application. If you don't have, of course, the idea and you have something that could be used as an idea, then it may take you a little bit longer to assemble the team and come up with a valid proposal. But in any case, you still have time. And I hope that we'll see a lot of interest after this webinar. And we are here, of course, to sort out any problems that may come up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Odysseas.